Hi, my name is Nikki Lurzak. I'm the Instructional Services Librarian at Genesee Community College, and this is Searching in CINAHL using CINAHL Headings. The topics that are covered by this tutorial are searching the CINAHL headings, specifically using explode, major concept, and subheadings to expand, focus, and really limit to exactly the right types of articles. In order to get to CINAHL, you want to go to the library's homepage and click on Databases A to Z, and here you click on CINAHL down in the alphabetical list. The CINAHL headings are a good way to search, and I would recommend it at least for the first time that you may search a particular topic. Once you become more fluent in the way this database works, you may choose to use other search features. And the CINAHL headings are located up at the top of this database screen. The CINAHL headings are best explained by thinking in terms of a department store. Items are grouped together based on their shared characteristics. So for instance, if you were shopping for a new couch, you only have to find the furniture department, and then you will have all of the choices of chairs and beds and couches. Knowing that there is one place to go where all of those items are lumped together is convenient, so that you're not looking all over the place or trying to guess where things might be found, which is different from what is considered more a keyword searching type like the internet or Google, where you put in the words that you're interested in, and if you're lucky, you've got good words and you find things. But if not, it's kind of scattered. In a garage sale, the concept is that right next to something that you might think is great, maybe a whole lot of things that are not useful. If things are not organized in that way, when you're searching through keywords, there is no guarantee that if you found something good, that the thing right next to it would be equally good. The thing right next to it could be terrible. Where at least in the clumped together concept of the department store, you have all related things in the same place. When you're in CINAHL, the CINAHL headings tell you what the appropriate or official term is. And let's just say that I am interested in doing a paper on cancer and Asian Americans. This is my paper topic. Well, I want to make sure that cancer is the appropriate term, just like I want to know that Asian Americans is the appropriate term. And what I find out here is that this database says for cancer, we should use this topic neoplasms. So I click on neoplasms, and now I have this tree view for neoplasms. And the tree view shows me a little bit of information about my topic. So I can see that neoplasms has some things that are indented underneath it, like cysts and neoplasms by site and precancerous conditions. And these are all sort of subtopics within neoplasms. They're more specific aspects or more specific types of neoplasms. I am interested in neoplasms, so I'm going to put a check mark in the box just to the left of neoplasm. What I then am presented with are a couple of choices. The first choice is explode. And what explode does is it says I can search this topic as well as all of those more specific subtopics all in one if I explode it. If I didn't, I would only be searching the articles that are about general neoplasms, and if there was an article that was very specifically about cysts, I would not be searching that article or that topic. So explode means you get everything. It's the biggest search. Major concept is a way of focusing your article a little bit. And what it does is it says that all of the articles I'm going to find in this database for you are going to have neoplasms as their main focus, or at least one of their main focuses. The difference between searching neoplasm as a major concept and a not major concept would be if your article was called The Latest Research on Cancer. Well, clearly that's an article that talks about cancer or neoplasms. That seems to be as though that would be the main thrust of it. If, on the other hand, you came across an article that was called Aging in America, Society's Impact on Disease, that's an article that's going to talk about aging, it's going to talk about society, and sure, it's going to mention diseases, so cancer and probably a few others will be in there, but cancer is not the main thrust of that article. So a major concept would really focus on just the ones that are really going to talk about your topic. Once you select your subject, you'll notice we get all these subheadings, and it automatically searches all subheadings. I could be very specific and say, well, I'm only actually interested in drug therapy for my topic, and you notice that it unchecks the all. If you're not sure what is meant by any of these subheadings, you'll notice each one of them has a scope note, which when you click on it, tells you what do they mean by drug therapy. So this has to do with the administration of drugs or chemicals. You can also choose more than one at a time. And you'll notice up here that it's changing our search. It's creating all of the search we want to do by depending on what we put there. If you want all of them, which is what we're going to do, we just let it be. But I want you to be aware of the fact that just because there is the subdivision here of blood or analysis or blood supply, that doesn't mean automatically that there actually is an article that talks about neoplasms as a major concept that happens to focus on blood supply. Just because something is on this list does not automatically mean there will will be articles on it. They don't take subheadings away if there are no articles. So just be careful. If you choose something and you get 0 articles, it's not you, it's the database. So I'm going to include all subheadings. So here's my neoplasms. I'm exploding it, I'm major concepting it, and now I want to search it. I found over 140,000 articles, and that's good. This is step 1. Now I want to know about my Asian Americans. So I come back to CINAHL Headings. Here's my term, and I want to make sure that this is good. This is what the database uses. And they suggest for Asian Americans I want to use Asians. I'm curious about what Asians means. And I click on it, and it tells me that Asians includes all of these different nationalities and cultural groups. Okay, that looks good to me. That seems reasonable enough. So I'm going to put a check mark for Asians. I'm going to explode so I get all of those subgroups. And I'm going to do the major concept yet again, and I am not going to do a specific subheading. I'm going to do all of them. So here's my search, and I click Search Database. And that got me 5,300 articles. Now, what I want to do is combine those searches together. So right here, underneath the search box rows, is Search History, and that's keeping track of everything I've done since I started my database searching. This is only good as you are in the database. If I closed this window and came back later, this would be gone. What I want to do is combine these searches together. So the first thing I need to do is clear out my old searches. And I have the choice. As you can see, my searches are S1 and S2. I could certainly come up here and do S1 and S2, type my searches in together. My other choice is that I could do S1 and S2 and search with AND. And you can see we got 375 results here. In order to close up my search history, I just come back and click on Search History again, and it gets sucked back up. I have 375 articles that are primarily about cancer and primarily about Asians, but I wanted Asian Americans. So I am going to add in that term. Now you'll notice that American has an asterisk. The reason I have that there is because some of the articles on my topic may just use Asian American, and some of the others may use Asian Americans to describe or talk about these groups. I want to make sure that I don't miss one or the other. So using the asterisk means that any ending after American is fine. So it can end American, it can end Americans, both are good. And now I search. So now we're down to 143 articles, which is good. These are all about cancer and Asians, looking for that word American, because I assume that Asian American will then come up that way. And it looks good, right? My first article has Asian American women. My second article has Korean American. My third article has Chinese American, Vietnamese Americans, Korean American. So again, there's our Americans, there's our American. Remember, so both endings are important. And here, let's say I like the look of number 8, Cancer Screening Behaviors and Barriers in Asian Americans. This is the title of this article. It is a whole article because I have that PDF full text. So I'm going to click on it and look at the information about it. It starts at the top with my title, followed then below by my authors. This article has 4 authors, where they work. The source of the article was originally published in the American Journal of Health Behavior, so that's the journal it was published in. It came from the November-December 2009 issue, which is volume 33, issue number 6. And this article is on pages 650 to 660. I can see that this article is in English, which is good, considering that this is a rather international database. It could easily have been in another language. And here's the major subjects. As I expected, Asians is there, as is neoplasms. And I've also got this third major topic of behavior. Underneath the majors, I have minor subjects, so I can see that while its main thrust will be these 3, there are minor subjects that will also be talked about. So I can see mammography will come up, middle age will come up, as well as New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. So these are all things that will be addressed in the text of my article. And here's my abstract. Not all articles will come with an abstract. I can also see that this is a peer-reviewed journal. There are a number of assignments where you are required to use a peer-reviewed journal. So knowing that if you check that journal subset row and you see peer-reviewed, you'll know you have one. If you have any questions about searching library databases, please get in touch with us.